No, thank you.
And he has soft.
Well, this rain.
That's all his kids.
Thank you.
And she doesn't. Abby Turner, and then she's met Libby Turner, and she's met now Abby, and she said, I think I would have made friends here. I should have come in January. I was like, yeah, I get it. Can you
I'm gonna up there and push pace on.
Never knew that.
She was really nice to me, so she didn't act like, you know, like, you know, she was mad at me because Ben quit going out with here in Cobell.
So excited for, just me for. We're on commercial break.
Commercial break before we start. Today is lemonade, this Saturday is lemonade day.
We would like to call to order the regular city council meeting for Tuesday, May 12th, 2026, at 5:30 p.m. If we would, we'll call to order and we'll start with an invocation, please, if you'd like to stand. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and the beautiful weather you've given us. And Lord, we ask that this council and incoming council uses every bit of their discernment for the citizens and for this wonderful area that we live in, we call Glen Rose. Lord, we thank you for the people that are willing to come and serve and the new ones that are coming to serve. We ask that you give them wonderful path to follow and help in everything we do. We ask for safety for all of the people in attendance. We ask that you be with us in everything we do. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Pledge allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas pledge.
Honor to the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Roll call of the council members. Councilmember Mapes.
Here.
Councilmember Schultz.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Mann.
Present.
Councilmember Freeze.
Present.
Councilmember Brennan.
Present.
We're all here. We have a quorum. We're going to start with just a few comments, just that we do every meeting. Everyone who addresses the city council, please do so in a respectful, orderly manner. If you wish to speak, approach the podium, give your name and address for the record, please. Comments made during the public agenda item or public hearings, and any individual consideration items are limited to 3 minutes per person. Your time cannot be given to another person, and you can only speak one time. This time, please silence your cell phones, and we will begin the meeting. We are going to start tonight's one of those
Is there any
bittersweet. Anyway, bit of a bittersweet. We're going to start by having outmember, council member,
You go.
and Mayor Pro Tem give comments. And ladies first in my book always. So Candace Schultz, we would ask if you have any comments, please, Mayor.
So first I want to thank the council. Y'all have made this experience very inspiring because I've seen what y'all can accomplish as a team. I'd like to give a big shout out to the city staff. Hands down, you guys are all rock stars, and we're very blessed to have each of y'all. And then to everybody, all of our citizens and everybody I get to see at football games and baseball games and raise children around, y'all are spectacular. And it's great because we have this united vision of what we want Glen Rose to become. And that, I assure you, has poured over into the city staff and everybody that's sitting up here. And we're all fighting for you guys constantly, but we don't have to fight too hard because we're pretty harmonious. But thank y'all for the opportunity. I truly enjoyed it.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Mann?
Last time I had to follow Candace up on a speech, they picked her. There's only two of them that are still here, but they picked her over me when they were appointing somebody. But I've
Still
got,
don't regret that vote.
I've gotten a little better. It did push me to want to run and serve, and I've enjoyed it. Everybody up here has been wonderful. You know, we've had issues, and there's been times where we didn't all get along, but we all fought for the same thing of what we all wanted. And I think we made a lot of progress, and I'm excited to see where things go from here. And that's all I got. Thank you.
Vote for Stuart.
For
Can't
Stuart.
do that. Stop.
We have a couple proclamations, and I'm gonna ask for my city secretary to read it, because I'll tear up and everything.
I'll read it. I might tear up. Proclamation, City of Glenrose, Office of the Mayor. Whereas Candace Schultz has served as a council member since 2023, offering dedicated service and concern for the citizens and the City of Glenrose. And whereas the commitment of her time, talent, and concern for the good of our citizens will not go unrecognized. And whereas the City of Glenrose is a better community because of Candace's efforts and involvement in the ongoing business of Glenrose. And whereas Candace Schultz, as an involved parent and full-time working mom, still gave much to the community she loves. And whereas during Ms. Schultz's time on council, she brought ideas, provided direction, and never sat silent. And whereas the historic town of Glenrose today celebrates and offers its sincere thanks and best wishes to Candace, always to be known as Councilmember Schultz. And now, therefore, I, Jill Bowles, Mayor of the City of Glenrose, on behalf of the entire city, city council, and city staff, do hereby offer our sincere gratitude to Ms. Candace Schultz for her dedicated service to the City of Glenrose.
I promise I ran and bought frames at my favorite store in the city, and it was 8 by 10, not 8.5 by 10. So if you smudge it up, call me, I'll print you a new one.
That happened with my certificates for my DOT exams, and I just trimmed up the certificates so they'd fit.
Yeah.
All right, proclamation, City of Glenrose, Office of the Mayor. Whereas Mr. Stuart Mann has served as city council member since 2024, offering dedicated service and utmost concern for the citizens of Glenrose and Somerville County. And whereas the voice of the people has certainly been heard loud and clear before, during, and undoubtedly after his service as city councilman and mayor pro tem. And whereas the City of Glenrose is fortunate to have lifelong residents as Mr. Mann who truly concern themselves with the path taken by this community. And whereas as Mayor Pro Tem Mann moves forward in continued service to our community, his voice is certain to be ever present, significant, and loud. And whereas during Mr. Mann's service, he provided a true hometown perspective with respect to the issues, concerns, and direction for the citizens of Glenrose and Somerville County. And whereas the historic town of Glenrose today celebrates and offers its sincere thanks and gratitude, along with best wishes to Mr. Stuart Mann in his continued involvement and service to our community. And now, therefore, I, Jill Bowles, Mayor of the City of Glenrose, on behalf of the entire city, city council, and city staff, do hereby offer our sincere appreciation to Mayor Pro Tem Mann for his dedicated service to the City of Glenrose.
All right. Got rid of these two. We're gonna bring in two more.
That's the best part.
Bye, y'all.
Candace.
Just for the fun of the meeting.
Yeah.
Candace,
I'll down.
thank you.
Bye, see you later, thank
Roger, you ready?
Yes, are you ready for the
Yes.
minister of the body? You want me to start with Patty? I state your name.
I, Patty Hawkins,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office
the duties of this office
of Glen Rose City Council
of Glen Rose City Council
of the state of Texas
of the state of Texas
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution
preserve, protect,
and defend
and defend the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and of this state,
and of the state.
so help me God.
So help me God.
All right. Come in, Ron. That may not be your permanent chair, Patty, we'll decide.
I told you.
She wasn't aware of that.
Shake it right in hand, but don't think about it.
Just need to witness your signature. Good.
Sit next to your kids.
Thank you, ma'am. Alright, here's right. Yes. Okay, I state your name,
I, Rusty Gomer,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Glen Rose City Council
of Glen Rose City Council
of the state of
of the
Texas
state of Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
so help me God.
so help me God.
So we're boys and girls, we couldn't do any mix up.
I'm sure
it'll change.
I've heard that.
That's how it's been for a year. That's all right.
Yeah, I know. Thought we do council, new change.
I borrow that really fast, I'm sorry. Oh, you have, sweet. Thank you. And this one is your statement of office, where you just, you can read through and then sign. And I have to administer your oath. Almost finished. How many times have you done this oath, George? Wow. So how many times have you done this? You should be able to say it to me. Okay.
Where are you coming
I'm out here, go right ahead. You didn't trust me.
I state your name,
I, George Free,
do solemnly
do
swear
solemnly swear
that I will faithfully
that I will
execute
faithfully execute
the duties of the
the
office
duties of the office
of the Glen Rose City
of
Council
the Glen Rose City Council
of the, excuse me, where am I at? Okay, of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state.
so help me God.
So help me God.
You can put your hand down now.
Oh, there we go, that's right.
Let's need a photo. And I'm done with you. Perfect. Now we can legally have a meeting.
You can. The last time we did this, it doesn't swear me out.
Never mind.
Clearly oversight.
Okay, now here we are, folks. Ready? three new council members, one returning. On this dais, with all these people watching, for the first time, you get to make your comments, and I'm gonna start with you, Patty.
All right. Hello, everyone. Great to be here. I'm truly honored to be part of the City of Glen Rose City Council. I'm looking forward to it. I'm super interested to hear and what everyone as citizens and business leaders have to say. I want to learn as much as I can. I want to help develop any businesses that are here and want to grow and want to come here and do all the right things for the City of Glen Rose. I'm super happy that we landed here in Glen Rose after living in the Metroplex for 30 years. We raised our children here. They graduated from the great school district that's here, and we love this town. And I'm just happy to serve, happy to be here.
Short and sweet. I've lived here for 15 years. My kids go here. I love this place. I don't ever want to leave. When the opportunity arose for me to serve on this board, I jumped on it with a little bit of push. I'm glad to be here. Hopefully, I've got some big shoes to fill. Hopefully, I can do the city proud. Thank you.
Once again, I appreciate everyone's support and their continued, prayers for us and the push for us and the willingness to come alongside and help when we need things, when there are ideas. You bring forward great ideas, and we try to execute on those. And I just say I'm looking forward to working with a fresh council, not a new council, but a fresh council. So onward and upward.
Thank you, George. I don't know if y'all noticed, but George is wearing these glasses. They're actually John Lennon style for our Hard Nights Day band that's coming from Biloxi Music Festival.
Trying to get ready for the Biloxi Music Festival.
Okay, item number 4, discussion and consideration of possible action regarding the election of Mayor Pro Tem. You can be nominated by any member of the council.
I would like to make a motion to nominate George Freeze as Mayor Pro Tem for the Rose City Council.
Can we have a second to the motion?
I'll
Or
second that motion.
do we have a second? Councilmember Comer. All in favor of allowing George to be Mayor Pro Tem?
Aye.
Unanimous. George, and we've got some new ones, but Richard, given your travel schedule, I think it's, you would have made a great Pro Tem. Lori, I think you're there. I think you can do it as well. It's a little nerve-wracking to have to sit in when
Yeah.
then run a meeting, but
I'm good with
you
this.
can get there. And George has got a lot of experience, a lot more than any of us up here, so good choice. All right. As you know, we've been fighting this Encore thing for some time. Stayed pretty close to it over the last week. See you. Bye, Stuart. See you, Jimmy.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank y'all. Hey, Patty, there's a piece of paper there for you and Rusty. Nope, the one laid diagonal, that's right there.
And while we've moved along, we had a week's worth of hearings, and luckily, they did not cross-examine our testimony from the city, which I really didn't want to do anyway. And so George and I stayed pretty close to it, and I think others did as well. And this is the freshest update that you can get on the Encore line. I'm going to read it straight from our attorneys. The Encore CCN hearing on the merits finally wrapped up late afternoon yesterday. Gone one day over the original schedule of 5 days. We got all of our exhibits admitted to the record over the objection of one other intervener. I mean, someone else that decided they didn't want our testimony to go in without an objection. If I was a betting man, says our attorney, I'd wager that the administrative law judges will recommend the Encore preferred route, which avoids all contact with the A3 link. I didn't hear anything that either disturbs their recommendation or argues strongly in favor of routes other than the use of A3. There was a considerable opposition and criticism of the PUC staff and witnesses to the preferred route, which, as you recall, does not include A3. The next step is filing written closing arguments, which are now due Monday, the 18th. We're already underway drafting that. If you see anything in the other parties' closing arguments that we need to address, we have the option, but not required, to file a response by May 26th. From there, all of the administrative law judges will eventually issue their proposal for decision sometime in July. The parties get the opportunity to file written responses and call on exceptions. Then the PUC will make its final decision at the public meeting on August 18th. So that's the update. Our attorney, that's very close, has attended much of the meetings, many of the meetings. Feels like we're in pretty good shape, and I do too. So that came from our city and our citizens and the staff and everyone that worked hard to fight against it. So we do have a time now for city and visitor comments. Anyone that no one signed up for visitor comments? All right, we're gonna move on then. Announcements, presentations. Any council members have anything they'd like to announce?
We have a Text 21 meeting in May 28th and 29th. It's a Thursday and Friday in Dallas. And it's going to be a really good meeting. Actually, they have Senator Dan Parker, who's going to be the new senator or the new chairman of the Senate Transportation Committee. He's going to be there at the meeting and address us, kind of talk about the interim study and transportation. And I intend to drive back and forth for the meeting. And if anyone would like to go with me, we could do that. It's just a really good, they want to call themselves a Lyceum. It's a really good cooperative group of cities and counties who have a like interest in transportation issues and planning. This one has a focus predominantly on DART and public transportation broadly, but it's always a great meeting. There's always good conversation opportunities with leaders of TxDOT, and we'll get an update on the different corridors. So if anyone's interested, I believe don't know where it is, meeting in Dallas. It's probably downtown. So, leave 6:30 or so that Thursday, and same thing on Friday. But it'll be a good meeting. And anyone who's interested, I can register you. There's no cost to the city. We're a member of the association. And but they just like to have a head count so they can make arrangements for food.
All right. Anything else, anybody? All right. We're going to go into our public hearings portion of the meetings. I'd like, if you would, Veronica, read item 5.
Public hearing at the request of Chelsea Davis on behalf of Patriot Tiny Homes for a variance for the item listed below located on track E5-3, abstract A136, Milam County School land, also known as 1302 Northeast Big Bend Trail.
Okay. Applicant can speak. Do we have anyone?
Public hearing is just the comments.
Huh?
Remember, public hearing is comments, then you close public hearing, then
I haven't opened the public meeting. We have the applicant to speak,
Okay.
then we'll open the meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Really don't have much to say.
If you'll give your name and address.
Oh,
to
yes,
begin.
my name is Chelsea Davis and my address is 406B Lakewood Drive or Street. All the signs that are along 67 right there, or Big Bend Trail, those are all very close together that are kind of catty-cornered from this current location, and they kind of feel left out because each business has their own signs, and some businesses have multiple signs on their properties, and this has none. Even though it is all the same track, it is not the same businesses that are in that area.
Any questions for the applicant?
So walk me through is what used to be the flooring place is now they're in that metal building.
Correct.
There's a sign there. They have a sign.
But there's no monument sign that is it's hard to be seen from either side as you're coming down the road because of the other businesses that are right there beside them.
So there's that business, there's Patriot Homes, and is that the only businesses on that property?
On that property, yes, sir, that I'm aware of.
And then you have Edward Jones
Yes,
and Butler Feed.
yes, sir.
Got it.
Any other questions?
What type of sign are you proposing?
It is gonna be a small monument sign. It will be a lit sign, I believe. There was changes. Let me
When you
double
say
check
small,
that.
how tall or?
The overall
Dimensions.
height, so the sign itself is gonna be a 4x8, and it's only gonna have a 1-foot base to the ground. That will be rock.
I think the only question, how far away from 67 is that sign going to be?
31 feet. We want to be out of all of the right of ways.
Anybody else? Thank you, Chelsea.
You're welcome.
All right, now I'll open the public meeting on this item. Any public comments? Anyone that would like to speak? Please do so now. Pam? We'll give you a name and address.
Pam Streeter, 205 Southwest. David and I spoke at length about this. The only reason we're bringing it to you guys is because it's necessary. Every business should be allowed to have a sign, but because of the way our sign ordinances are, we don't have the spacing to allow them to have the sign per our ordinance. So we recommend, while P&Z has nothing to do with it, David and I said this doesn't make any sense, but the only way to solve this for them, to keep in continuity with our ordinances, to have them have a variance.
Okay, any other public comments from anyone? I'm gonna close the public hearing. Now, council, you can discuss, ask anything among yourselves, make a motion.
I moved to, I gotta find it back in, since I thumb hit the button. I move to approve the variance for the location of 1302 Northeast Big Bean Trail for the additional sign as presented.
We have a motion.
Can we amend the motion and say the dimensions she said?
Sure.
What'd you say, 8x4?
4x8.
4x8, 1 foot off the ground?
I'll agree with that.
I'll second.
Okay, motion been seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Freeze. All in favor? 5-0 passes. That was item number 7. Now we're going to go back to public hearing item number 6. Veronica, if you'll introduce that.
Public hearing, discussion and possible action by the Board of Adjustment at the request of Larry Kitchens on behalf of owner K2 Incorporated for a variance for the listed item below in order to allow for an addition to the existing structure in an R1 single-family district located on track 2 abstract A136 Milam County School Land Lily House Addition, track 2, acres .36, also known as 113 Lily Street.
All right. The applicant like to make a comment?
You bet. I am Larry Kitchens with K2. So yeah, we're just proposing to add on to an existing structure that's on the property to make it match and be cohesive. The current property is within about 6 foot of the property line, so we're just wanting to add onto that for a residential add-on, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. It'll allow for the construction to align with all the matching and existing buildings there. It's right across from the fire station, so it gives you an idea of where it's at. And it helps get my daughter and son-in-law in Glen Rose.
It's always a compelling reason.
Yes.
Any questions for
Do they
that?
have children?
Oh, yeah, 3.
Oh, great. I need more kids in school.
Well, the school district is what drew them here. So,
Any questions for the applicant? Thank you.
Okay.
All right. No public hearing portion of this. We will go down to number 8. Pam, you have a comment?
I do.
Name and address?
Pam Streeter, 205 Southwest. Again, this is an item that doesn't come before PNC. However, I reviewed this extensively with Mr. Kitchens. Our current ordinance setback for the backyard in an R1 is 25 feet. His current building has a non-conforming legal, give me the right wording again, David. Legal non-conforming of a 6 foot. And so it would be very awkward for an addition to the property to be built at our current setbacks in order to achieve their goal. So we recommended that they come to you guys for the variance to get some consistency in the setback. There was, David didn't?
There was 2 for.
2 for, there was no opposed. So this did require a mailing to the 200 feet of residents surrounding, and the surrounding residents, including the property owner that this would set up against, did not have any issues.
Any other comments from the public? Close the public meeting, have discussion among council, ideas, motions.
I make a motion to approve a variance for a minimum yard setback from 25 feet required to 6 feet for track number 2 of Ad Track 136, Milam County School Land Survey, Lily House Edition, track 2.
A second.
Second by, was that you, Laurie? By Councilmember Mapes, all in favor? 5-0 passes. Because this was introduced before, we go straight into discussion. Item number 9, Veronica, you want to read that for me?
Discussion and possible action by the Board of Adjustment at the request of Michaela Rambler on behalf of the Glen Hotel LLC for a variance for the item listed below located on acre 0.187, tract F7-24, abstract A136. A136 Milam County School Land Tract F7-24, also known as 201 Southwest Bernard Street.
Okay, applicant, would you like to speak?
Hello, council. Nice to see you all. Hello, community. I'm delighted to bring back.
Michaela, if you'll give your name and address for those listening online.
Yes, I lost my council manners. Sorry. Michaela Rambler, address 201 Southwest Bernard. Thank you for having me. We are here to request a parking variance. We currently have about 10 on site. We need more than that. We do have a agreement with the Barnard's Mill to provide us 10 more parking spots. So the variance is just requesting 10 extra. Any questions I can answer?
When the hotel is done with completion, remind me how many rooms?
30.
30 rooms.
So we've accounted for 20. We need 10 more.
Any other questions of the applicant? We're all familiar with the location. Normal ordinance is 1 parking spot per room.
And there's 30 rooms, you said? So you only have 20 parking spots.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
We're going to open a public hearing for comments from anyone. No public hearing, all right?
Because it was
Oh,
tabled.
that's right, we did it was tabled, that's right. Okay. All right, we have a request from Pam, number 9.
I learned more information, so I'm
You're good? Okay, so we have no other comments. Council, any questions? Actions?
I signed up to speak, so can I speak on this real quick?
Oh, go right ahead, please. I'm sorry, Cheyenne.
That's okay. I did it just in case. Cheyenne Edwards, 202nd Street. As on behalf of the Somerville History Foundation and the Bernards Mill, we do have a contract with them in place for when they do open. However, in the agenda packet, it only said 7 spots. Like she said, there are 10, and we do have a few more that we could offer her as well, so.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now I change my mind. Oh, just to clarify for new city council people.
Sure.
Come on, Pam. I'm not. So
Can
just.
you give your name and address,
Pam
please?
Streeter, 205 Southwest Bernard Street.
Yeah.
So just for those who don't know, Rusty, I think you might be the only one. I am Chair of Planning and Zoning Commission. I have nothing to do with this. I have no say in any vote you're making here. The ordinance, as Mr. Bowles had stated, is 1 per every room in the building, so 30. Any rooms that she has already accounted for with her partnership with Bernard's Mill, the remainder would become off-street parking that would be basically not dedicated parking spaces. It would be free for use by anybody within the city. It's just that she won't have enough for every room. So she needs to have permission to utilize off-street parking without being in violation of our ordinance.
Right.
I just wanted to make sure everybody understood.
Thanks, Pam. Council discussion, questions, comments?
So just to clarify, if there are parking spots available and they choose to park in non-compliance areas or street parking, they just decide to park in the street, is there any issues that the person staying there is going to have?
The hotel guests do not have to stay in hotel parking. They can park wherever they
They
want.
park wherever they want.
So, yeah.
So even though there's parking available, they still could
They
be
can still park
parking.
on the street.
I don't know if this question is directed to Jim or maybe George, you might remember, at some point, we talked about redoing the parking on Cedar Street to modify it to account for additional parking spaces once it was repaved and lined. I don't remember the amount of parking spaces that this would create, but I thought it was somewhere just in the neighborhood of 10 right there.
Are you talking about the north side of Bernard?
I'm talking about right next to the
You
Glen
would have
Hotel.
to go to diagonal spaces.
Correct.
And again, that still would be considered off-street parking.
Correct. I'm just trying to get a number in my
Yeah, I
head.
think it
There
was
was about
10.
7.
7?
Yeah.
Because you have to count for the trash cans.
I have a question. Will the available parking spots that are at the hotel be available only to hotel guests? And what is the plan for managing that process?
No, we don't have a plan currently. If we need to get a towing contract, we can, but I'm not too concerned about that.
You need to be.
Okay.
Yeah, well, yes, probably so, but also, how are you planning to do stickers on the
Yeah,
you
we'll
know,
have signage.
dashboard?
Oh, yes, for our check-in processes, yes, they will have the registration process, yeah. And we'll have signage posted at each lot as well.
Okay.
We have security cameras with the IT behind it to be license plates, so we could track it and get a towing contract in place if
Any other questions, council? Yeah, I always bring this up about parking in Glen Rose. I've never seen an event canceled because we don't have parking spaces available. The average occupancy over the year, Pam, you probably know this better than me, but it runs under 50%.
Correct.
Now, holidays, we're gonna have jam-packed parking in the city, no matter where you go. But on an average day, you hope to have 15 rooms occupied. And that's on an average day. So that's kind of the parking, way I look at the parking is it rarely exceeds the true occupancy, average occupancy during the year.
Well, I would move to make a motion to accept the parking variance request for the minimum standard for the location of 201 Southwest Bernard on track F7-24, abstract 136 of the Millen County School track F7-24 as presented.
We have a motion,
I'll second.
second by Mayor Pro Tem Freeze. All in favor of the variance?
Do you guys just want to put a limit on how many off-street parking you're allowing her to have? I'm just asking. Okay.
All in favor? Sorry. 5-0 passes. Okay,
Thank you guys very much.
you're welcome. We're looking forward to the hotel and mostly the bar on the bottom floor, within walking distance of my home. I don't drink, folks, but I love Pepsi. Individual items for consideration. We'll move to item 10, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a contract with public management to perform grant administration on the city's soccer park grant. George, you want to talk about this?
So, I think as maybe everyone is aware, we were awarded a $750,000 grant. We committed to an overmatch for that $750,000 grant from Texas Parks and Wildlife to redo what we renamed the Nathan Beatty Recreational Complex. And in kind of the course of meeting with Texas Parks and Wildlife and looking at the detail of trying to get this grant administered and the project done, we met with them, and then we've had subsequent emails and phone calls. And I just don't think we have the bandwidth with our current staff to try to add something else to them that's as important and time sensitive as managing this managing this contract. So I reached out to Jake at Public Management and asked him to work up a contract to do the administration. You see, it's he estimates it to be $94,000. It's in the packet, and for that they will handle the administration of this grant from top to bottom. Now that $94,000 is over and above our match. We can't include that in our match. I don't think, pretty certain of that. We can't include that in our overmatch. So that's going to be $94,000 that we're going to have to budget next year on top of the match for this grant. But I just think that in the interest of execution, in the interest of actually, getting this thing successfully pulled off and done, I think it's just worth our effort to go ahead and hire an administrator to handle this grant, because we just don't have I feel like we don't have the bandwidth to be able to handle it, with our staff currently. Not that they couldn't handle it, but it's just going to be a very time sensitive project that we just have to stay on top of, and because it's more than just here's $750,000, go build it. TPWD has to send it to National Park Service. National Park Service has to sign off on it. There's possibility we have a river and basin that may or may not need a permit review through the Corps of Engineers, and all of that behind the scenes legwork is just going to be better accomplished by somebody who has done this before than for us to try to muck our way through it. So, in light of all that, I would recommend that we engage Public Management for the work authorization for $94,000 for this administration of this grant.
What is the next time sensitive requirement?
In a couple of 3 days, we have to send the final packet to Texas Parks and Wildlife so that they can then get it to National Park Service by June 1. National Park Service starts their review, and it'll probably take 90 days, maybe longer, to look at the entire project and make sure that it fits within the guidelines of the federal standards and the federal guidelines as it relates to the contract, the actual service to the community, the recreation aspect of it, the outdoor aspect of it, and all of that, has to be buttoned down and tracked. That's the most important thing. It has to be tracked all the way through the completion of the project, or else we're in jeopardy of having to pay back a portion of it. If Texas Parks and Wildlife sends their report to NPS, and NPS says, no, that's insufficient, and we can't come back and justify it that, we have missed a step. This is ultimately their responsibility, why they're being paid to not miss those steps. So yes, we've got that. So we have to get that to TPWD in a couple of 3 days, and then that work has to then go to National Park Service. Texas Parks and Wildlife puts it in their format, reviews it, has any last minute questions, and then they have a little bit of a soft deadline of June 1 to get it to National Park Service and start a review.
The only thing I'll say to this council is, to the new council members, generally grants and focus of this will be duty of the city administrator. We have a very busy city administrator / public works director, and grants are very complicated and something you have to be very well versed at to go through the segments and follow the dotted lines and get to where we want to be. And the only issue is the 94,000. I want you to be aware that we want to, and we're going to hire a city administrator. They need to be able and be willing to do these grants. That's part of their duties. And when you look at the compensation we offer a city administrator, we have to consider costs like this that are over and above what he would be paid. So just something to be aware of down the road. I'm not sure we have an option here. Do we want to lose? Do we want to have to pay back part of the grant? I don't think so. And so it's $100,000 that was not budgeted, but we did get a nice little grant. And our match makes it even better. So any comments, council, George?
The only other thing I would say is that yes, it is a surprise because we didn't necessarily anticipate this. And we do have the option, and we do have the ability to know that this could be a 2027 grant. So we don't have to necessarily, we could allocate some of the remainder that we will have coming out of this 26 year from parks. We could allocate part of that and prepay what Jake may do between, the time we execute this contract until the close of fiscal year, September 30. We can allocate that cost and put that in the 26 years, so we wouldn't have the entirety in the 27 fiscal year.
You know what that line item budget is? How much for 26?
I don't know.
You know, Veronica?
Off the top of my head, no.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter, but we'll split it in any case. It won't all go in 26. Any other questions, comments?
So does this person also manage I know we've talked about the committees that are helping with, is that person manage those things too, or just
I would suggest that we dial him in on all of those conversations. Yes, I think he needs to be presenting back, to our group, what they are, what they have accomplished. So we have budgeted almost 1.19 million in parks, and we've spent $21,000 year to date.
That includes the $1 million owed to match the grant, correct?
That was probably why it's so high.
Can I
Yeah.
ask what the match for the grant is? 750. Is it 7 or 8?
The grant is $750,000.
I know, but the match, what's the
The
city's match?
overmatch was $1 million. The overmatch
So
was
you
$1
already
million.
matched, you overmatched $1 million.
We overmatched
so
$1 million.
you're at $1,000,001.
Yeah.
Roughly. Thank you.
So 1.9, that's,
It's really turnkey. I mean, they handle everything.
Everything.
from A to Z, yeah. We've used them for years on a lot of different projects, a lot of grants pay for grant administration. And so in those scenarios especially, we go out for qualification, and we grade them and we choose one and it's kind of paid for. They've always done an excellent job, very capable.
Is this the same one that did the grant application to begin with?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he did the
Yeah,
application.
so he's already came and presented the application. Okay.
I think that was $7,500 or something like that.
Correct. Yeah.
I don't think we have a big choice in the matter at this point. We don't want to lose grant or have to pay back grant money if we don't get something done in a timely manner. And I'll just tell you, I met one time with George and the Parks Administration, and they started talking about this deadline and that deadline, and I went and started kicking the soccer ball around because I had no idea. But it's very complicated. So as much as I hate to spend the money, we got to do it right.
Or worth it?
Just an opinion.
we have a motion.
We don't.
I'll make the motion that we engage public management for the grant management of the Texas Parks and Wildlife grant.
I'll second that motion.
Second by Councilmember Comer. All in favor? 5-0 passes. Okay. Item 11, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding resolution 2026-R-09 to formally accept a donation from the LDL and Somerville Historic Foundations. George Freeze, council member.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Mayor Pro Tem.
I will take that. So, some of y'all may be aware, may not be aware. We engaged Bickerstaff, Heath and Delgado Acosta to work with us on the CCN case for the A3. And then we had two organizations that stepped forward very generously and said they would put some dollars towards the cost of the outside counsel that we had picked up. And so LDL offered to give $2,000, and the Somerville History Foundation, offered $2,000 as well. So we need to formally accept those contributions and thank them publicly for.
Oh, wait, we have to accept it before we can thank them.
That's right. Well, I have to think we'll probably take it. That's a small thing. We don't have to worry about that.
It's in there.
Okay.
But, it just, just kind of shows, and, we can talk about the generosity of the community all we want. There's plenty of examples, but this is just another one of those examples of where the community really kind of rallies around the things that are important. The kids, the community aspect, our authentic hometown values. So anyway, we need to accept this and then allocate it towards that cost.
Okay. Everybody informed enough to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to formally accept the donations from the LDL and Somerville Historic Foundations and to be allocated to, what is it supposed to be?
Legal cost.
Legal costs, excuse me.
Okay.
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Brennan. All in favor?
Or you can't vote for it.
I can't vote because I'm
I'm
on
not trying to
LDL.
a donator. So all in favor again? 4-0, 1 excuse. Passes. What will we do without you, Cheyenne?
Get lost.
Okay, well, now we can formally say, thank you very much. As I like to say, we are Glen Rose, and that's a great thing.
I'd just like to say that, on behalf of, and I'm sure I speak for LDL, that the Bernard's Mill, the Somerville History Foundation, and LDL, we're glad that we were able to fight the fight to keep, the A3 out of here, the Dino Switch, and that it will prove that tourism and our community only thrive and succeed when all of us work together. It's a joint effort from everyone in our community.
Friends and neighbors.
That's
Friends and neighbors right
Friends
there.
and neighbors.
I like that. Thank y'all much.
The only mistake you made is it ain't a done deal yet, but it's rolling that way.
So does that mean you are asking for more money before you actually spend that money?
Yeah, I will tell you this. Now, George and I did have the discussion with the law firm. We're not gonna pay you to sit there and listen to this thing all day. That is not service.
What our money's doing.
Yeah. We'll wait and see. But, oh yeah, we may ask for more. Okay, thank you. That's great. Number 12, individual item for consideration, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding parking along Grace Street. Laurie, I believe this is yours.
Yes, I had a, y'all, excuse me, y'all knew it was coming. Because we knocked off some of the no parking area over there. And another citizen has come forward complaining about parking in front of their home, has knocked over her mailbox twice, parked in front of the, their driveway on busy nights. And so I'm bringing that up because I want, that kind of goes with number 13 as well. We've talked about that on number 13, that parking lot. It has been determined that the back of those buildings is not private property for the members who own businesses there. So I would like just to discuss what options we have about possibly moving that rail and restriping so we could get some more parking places in there, or
Is this where you're referring to the public, or
Yeah,
the public lot that's
the public lot,
managed
yes.
by Bank and Solon?
Yes, if y'all recall that it has been determined in previous meetings that that is not their private parking. There's no parking signs that are directly behind. One suggestion could be that we could even put up signs that says, no parking, so they still have a place. I mean, we don't want to keep our merchants from having a place to park, but no parking between business hours. And then after business hours, that would allow people who are parking for any of our events in town and at the mill down there to have a few additional parking. But I also think if we were able to remove that metal bar, we could do some different striping. And no, it's not going to alleviate all the problems on Grace Street, but perhaps it might take care of not as often are people needing to park down Grace Street. So just something to throw out there.
We've got quite a bit of information on this through the years, and Jim can help with this. But one thing we did discuss, Pam, was moving the dumpster and coming to an agreement with that somehow.
Correct. And so I have figured out that the best place for the dumpster is to honestly be in that grass area, towards the front. And Baked isn't gonna love it, but that's the best place to put it.
Front of their building or
Not in the
between
front,
their
kind of
building
where
and
the
the.
driveway is,
Yeah.
and you've got that grass area right there. It really needs to be there because that's the best way for the trucks to get to it, or we have to go all the way over to the other side, kind of behind the other, right on, yeah, fees.
That's part of the issue. Jim,
The
wasn't there
other-
like a silent agreement that we would give them one space?
Yep.
There
But it was
is,
always business
and
hours.
Hang on a second.
it's also, it's already only in certain hours. So after a certain time of day, it becomes public parking.
But the signs don't say that.
Well, the sign entering that area says that, which was what the attorney suggested,
Advised, yeah.
but some of them have put up their own
Yes.
signs, and so those probably need to come down. We used to have 19 spaces there when we put the railing up, we were able to create more spaces based on the way traffic comes in and out of there. Yeah, it's just tight. There were 19 spaces, now there's 23, I think.
Pam, are you saying that the dumpster,
Access is the problem, because they have to they go down do they go down right behind the buildings? Is that what they do?
And we need to move that out to the edge so that the truck isn't having to come through and that every single business doesn't have to have their own 1 or 2 dumpsters.
because they all have.
Because there's, they all have polycarts. And if we go to, and because the city bills them, the city can actually engage a 7-yard dumpster that they share the cost of. So that will get rid of all the polycarts. We position the dumpster where it is most easily accessible by the truck. They share the dumpster, we remove the railing, but we can actually then, by diagonal parking, we can get a 3rd row of parking in.
but the dumpster would go between Sexton's and Baked on their grass?
on
Bank's property.
It'd be kind of between Bake's entrance and the offices along Jack Bridges there.
Right.
That's where it would be.
In that little courtyard, if you
Yeah.
want to call
Kind
it
of right
that.
there.
Okay, okay, perfect.
So it's not right in front of Baked, it's not by their outdoor area, it's over kind of more to the edge. So all of the businesses would come down kind of to that alley that's not an alley and get it, but the dumpster can get to it.
It's that
From the
unused
other-
square of grass.
Exactly.
Okay.
I really don't like that idea.
Isn't that somebody's
Just
property?
Right here, yeah, right here. So we go right in, right
I
up with
don't
it.
believe that is Bank's land, the grass. That's one
I
of the
actually think it's the CVBs
Or Jack Bridges.
or Jack's.
Bridges. I think it's, Bridges.
I think I kind of like more over towards Feasta's end, where they basically right.
So then we end up kind of taking a space.
Or more.
Well, yes and no. And what I'm thinking is if we put a trash can down there, the parking spots that are already allocated to the businesses, if you make those all diagonals,
Right.
take out the opening gate, you can leave the other wrought iron bar there, and you can actually make 2 or 3 horizontal spots along the metal railing also. Does that make sense?
No, it does. I think the metal railing, I think in my opinion, the metal railing, it impedes.
I think if just the driveway portion is taken down.
Yeah.
For one, the railing's too far north. I mean,
Yeah.
it needs to be back if we were gonna do it, but Jim, we talked about this. Why is that there?
It's there for several reasons. One, because first of all, the engineers use software to design the layout of parking lots. And that's who we sent that to. And he said, man, you're kind of maxed out. I mean, the parking lot's so big, we're just trying to cram more
Yeah.
cars and you end up with fender benders and whatnot. And he said, really, you can't have diagonal spaces. You can only exit one direction then. So, and then we had several store owners in here saying, this is what we want. And so we had council kind of leaning towards that direction. And so it was just kind of a multiple reasons, that was brought up. Another issue was in the morning when the parking lot's empty, people like to, when traffic's backed up, they like to dart across that parking lot and and try to beat
Well,
traffic.
but now that Baked is there, are they still cutting across that parking lot? Because
Now that the rail is there, they have not,
Like, cut across it now.
because it came before Bay, so I'm not sure what
happened?
what would happen now. I'm sure there's cars parked there now.
so technically, we were supposed to be talking parking on Grace,
Yeah, you're on.
but it does blend.
Yeah.
But we have talked about Grace Street being limited to no through traffic multiple
That's a different
times.
subject. The residents are for it. There's overwhelming interest in that, but that's up to them to bring it to council. Right now, this parking lot and we can't do much about parking on Grace. It's allowed parking. Someone parks in someone's drive, call a tow truck and move it. At this point.
I got a
Well, would
question
they-
about that. So I was gonna ask, it looked like you were blending two items there.
Yes.
But the parking on Grace Street, I'm not sure who brought this up, but I live on Grace. And we addressed parking in Walnut, which has been tremendous, fantastic for us. But I do see the parking on Grace. You talked about calling a tow truck. So Grace, I think, is one of the smallest streets, narrowest streets in the city, and it cannot fit two vehicles there. So I think the problem that you said a neighbor or somebody brought up is they park along Grace Street, which is, I'm at 200 Grace, White House there on the corner, across from Sexton. We have, our property spans the street there.
Yeah.
People park along the curb there, and the neighbors can't back out the driveway if they're behind it. They can't pull into the driveway. So I see often vehicles hopping the curb that live there, driving across the sidewalk, trying all kinds of turns just to get in and out of the driveway. So is it legal for somebody to park in front of somebody, not on the same side of the street, for somebody driving on the opposite side? On the curb there, if in a vehicle, there's no way a vehicle can get in and out.
Because they're waiting for cars.
They're on a curb, on the opposite side of the street, but that street is so narrow, it's not like a normal street that a vehicle, vehicles can't.
Well, the only thing you can do there is offer up an ordinance and make it to no parking, which I'm not sure.
And I think all the residents and everybody in the area is fully aware. I mean, we live downtown area, we like the energy, we like the people, we like all the events. Nobody's trying to limit on parking, we understand that, but I see the struggles of my neighbors and there's gonna have to be something that can be done there. They can get in and out of the driveway without accidents.
Yeah, I see it. I see it every day. And I mean, short of having a no parking zone,
Yeah,
people are
it
gonna
seems
park
like-
there.
I don't know if the answer is no parking on that one side of the street, because on the opposite side, it sounds like they can't legally park in front of the driveway.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's any short-term answers, but my answer is this: a walking bridge across Walnut. People can park at the park and walk across, and they won't park there anymore. And that just may happen.
I know we don't want to table this, but I'm going to suggest that perhaps Jim, David, and I go back and kind of redraft what parking could look like in that area with the parking
I think that
lot
makes a lot of
and
sense.
Grace Street.
And you know what? That's not gonna answer the problem on Gray Street. That
I
parking
get
lot,
it.
it's just not.
But if we can kind of come back and revisit and look at it
Yeah.
anew
Yeah,
from the new businesses that are there now and come back to you guys with some better ideas.
I think that's a good thing. Let's
I
just,
would recommend multiple options,
Yeah.
not a single.
Yeah, not a
option.
single, but multiple
Maybe three
options.
options or
Yeah.
something, so that we can, council can discuss it with the neighbors in the area
Yeah.
or.
If you guys will just give us a little bit of grace and time to kind of really put some stuff together, I think.
you know, another thing I'd like y'all to look at, you know, that parking spot behind CVB?
Yeah,
Could we put the trash can there?
we can look at that too.
I think you should.
Okay, let us look at that stuff and so we can come back with some really
Okay,
viable
we'll
things for
table
you
that.
guys.
So is that all right, council, to wait and let them come with some?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Okay, item 13, discussion, consideration, possible action regarding the parking lot located at Grace and Walnut. I think we just covered that.
Yeah.
Okay, table number 13.
We did two of them.
I agree, by the way, you could add 15 more parking spots in that parking lot, and it wouldn't address the parking on Grace Street,
Yeah,
like you said.
We just have to come up with other suggestions.
Okay, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding changing the name from the Convention and Visitors Bureau to Explore Glen Rose.
Hello.
Name and address, please.
My name is Tracy Nigella. I live at 1022 Private Road 1250 in Bluffdale, Texas. And it's an honor to be before you, esteemed mayor and city council members. Tonight, I was hoping that you would consider a name change of my department, of the tourism department, I should say, from Glen Rose CVB to Explore Glen Rose. So across Texas, that has destination organizations are moving away from using the traditional CVB term, and they're going more toward just stronger brand names. And I think that Explore Glen Rose is it represents us better as a community. Also, the state entity, the TACVB, the Texas Association of CBVs, has in September they changed to Destination Texas. So they're promoting a statewide adoption of, to try to get a better brand for your destination. And so I feel like that would strengthen our marketing efforts and give us better brand recognition. And last week at our tourism advisory space, they agreed with me. So we are now bringing that to you to consider, please.
Council members, any comments here, questions?
All your social medias already says Explore Glen Rose, correct?
Yes, sir. So all of our social medias, so that's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, all say Explore Glen Rose. So we've been positioning ourselves for this. I also feel like with our just our collaboration with the county, it just kind of gives us a nice new brand name and just a strong step forward together.
What kind of costs would be associated with, would there be any costs associated, like needing to change names on the building or anything? And if so, do you have the budget to do that?
No, ma'am. Right now, we don't have any.
We don't have signage.
We don't have signage, so it's not going to cost us anything extra.
Are you planning on doing signage with the
Yes, ma'am. But we were going to, but we needed approval first from City Council to approve the name, and then we're going to get it.
Are the business cards already explored?
Well, exactly. So we have business cards that already say Explore. Our website is exploreglenrose.com. So we've already positioned ourselves to embrace this. So this is a formality in essence.
Tracy, do you know if have you trademarked that brand name?
No, ma'am. But I would consider it. Yes, ma'am.
You should
Yes.
look at that.
Yeah, I would love that. That'd be great. Many cities are going with, visit Granbury, visit Stephenville. We chose Explore as a group just because we felt like it fit our brand better. So there's so much to
Explore is
It's better for.
It's a match for our city.
Yes.
It really is.
Would this name just be used by the city? As opposed to
City and
anything
county, just the entire tourism umbrella.
Okay.
So it's our branded tourism department.
Okay, so what I hear you saying is organizations that exist outside of the city would be up under the umbrella of Explore Glen Rose when you're marketing and you're including organizations in the county.
Yes.
Okay, and therefore they could use that too in their marketing.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're hoping to combine and eventually, work together as one entity and use that brand. Yes.
Any other questions, council?
So
Any action?
we have multiple URLs, obviously.
Yes.
And obviously, I like that we have multiple URLs. However, are we going to keep those, number one, and then automatically, if somebody clicks on an opposite one, it just automatically directs them to Explore Glenrose if this is accepted?
That is exactly what we are doing right now. So if you go to our old URL.
There's a few. I'm just gonna, she's asking for a department name change.
I got that.
That's all she's asking
I got
for,
that.
guys.
I want to make sure we're leading down the same track.
But visit glenrosetx.com or
Yeah, we
.org.
got GlenroseTexas.net, you got visit GlenroseTX.com. So,
All those go
and then.
Yes, they
I
all
wanna
should point
keep
to.
those, right?
Mhm.
Because I think when people come to visit, they should be able to have multiple options on search engines. However, I know we don't want to manage multiple pages, and that's not my intent. I would like to see that if somebody typed in the wrong one or got led from a search engine to the wrong one, then it automatically just defaulted them to.
Yeah, you could probably speak to that in your presentation. That's a little off
Oh, yes,
agenda
sir.
item.
Mhm.
We're talking about the moniker for the group.
Yes, sir. Right now.
I think it
So
makes sense. It's
agenda item
consistent with
4
everything we've done, all of the sites. And we aren't we don't have a convention. Well, we have a space for 100, so that's just changed. But that's really about a department name change to make it more up to date.
to strengthen our marketing efforts.
Can I make a motion?
You bet.
I make a motion to change the name from the Convention and Visitors Bureau to Explore Glenrose.
Thank you.
A second.
Second by Councilmember Mapes, all in favor? 5-0 passes. New name.
Fantastic. Thank you kindly.
We'll get a new sticker too. And put
Sure.
it here on my.
Okay.
on my-
Stickers for all.
That's a city name, that has nothing to do with.
I want to put it on my laptop.
Maybe
Okay.
if I get a laptop, I'll
Okay,
put one
we
of
have
mine.
stickers.
You'll have one
We
very
actually,
soon.
we just got sticky notes. So I do have those.
That was
So
a,
I shall share those with you guys.
She's real slow.
everybody looks all smart.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I
need
think
one
on agenda item number
back in
Bye, Joe.
15 as well.
Stone Age.
So.
Well, let me introduce it if you don't mind.
Oh,
It's gonna say.
Discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the Tourism Advisory Board members and terms. You have a sheet here, everyone, listing the names.
yes, a little packet, if you will.
Yeah.
I think this is
Go ahead.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, we're.
Uh, So did everyone find, it's got a roster and then it has the bylaws stapled to it on the back? It's just a 3-page document-ish. Okay, so what I'm requesting tonight is that you formally establish staggered terms for those members that are on the Tourism Advisory Board. What essentially happened is the board was nominated or created a long time ago, and time has passed and now all of their terms have expired. So the only active member technically on that board is Cheyenne, as you can see, because she was nominated January 13th. So I'm asking tonight for you guys to officially and formally create terms for each one of those members. Each of them that are on that roster wants to be on the board, so they are fine with continuing their service in this capacity. And also, so I included the bylaws because the bylaws indicate that when you're nominating someone, 1/3 of the group needs to have a 1-year term, and then 2/3 of the group needs to have a 2-year term. That's number 6(2), if you look at that.
So why don't we just make the first 3 a 1-year term and the rest 2?
That's perfect.
That's lovely. I actually, at our last meeting or a couple of meetings ago, I was just going to have people draw out of a hat. But when you read the bylaws, it says that this is a city council decision. And so we wanted to follow protocol.
So do you want the terms to start when Cheyenne started on January 13th and end January 31st, 2027 on the 1 years?
I think that would make it simpler. So, okay.
Because we have been meeting.
Yeah, and we have been meeting, yes.
I
And
signed up to speak on this one. Can I just give you a little bit of context if you don't mind?
Yeah, 42 seconds.
Cheyenne Edwards, 202nd Street. I'm on the tourism advisory. I was the only one appointed this year because we weren't sure where the terms left and went because, as we all know, when our previous city administrator was here, he tried to change all the boards to different times. I'm getting there. And so that now all of these board members do want to be back on it. And they are coming to meetings and actively participating now. This board did not do anything for almost 2 years. They sat and listened to presentations. They didn't get to put input. What this board is for is to give her input and vote on things. And they need voting power. They don't have any currently. And just so you know, there is one non-voting member on there because she doesn't fall into the category. So when you are adding terms, just make sure you keep that in mind.
Okay, suggestions, council, how we structure this quickly. It shouldn't be that hard, and if they prove their worth over the next year, they'll get what do we call it? Submitted?
Reappointed.
Yeah, reappointed.
So all of these people have been actively serving and they've all been a part of the organization.
yes, sir.
Okay, so back to the council member's question, Comer's question. If we make it retroactive to January 1, then January 1 or January meeting of 2027, we will fill 4 spots. Three spots.
That's in line with the bylaws.
Okay. 2/3.
And just make it the same date, 1/13. Keep the dates the same.
Okay.
Can anybody on council or maybe even Tracy remind me why we turned around and held 1/3 of them to be a single year?
It was the stagger positioning.
Well,
And-
that could be just election a different year.
No, the old idea is, and it's the same way in just about every time you have a board established, and I'm not sure if the bylaws just didn't get written 100% properly. You always start with a 1-year term and then your 2-year terms. And then from that point, you're staggering and everybody holds 2-year terms. But you have to start so that you're not turning an entire board over at once. And
But
so.
I was getting the staggering part of
Yeah.
half of them being this year, half of them being
Yeah.
next year and so on.
But then
I
the
just did
next,
the-
yeah,
the
so then
first
when
year
the
part
1
is
year,
wrong.
when the 1 year is up, then they
Okay.
go into 2-year terms.
All right, anything else, Rich?
No, that was,
All right, any other discussion? Motion?
Who's the non-voting? You said somebody doesn't vote?
It's a realtor.
It's the real.
It's Autumn
Okay.
Anderson, so
Okay.
that was in the bylaws. So
I see that now. I apologize.
Realtors don't hold votes. No offense to them.
I make a motion to reappoint the slate of current Tourism Advisory Board members and make their appointment effective to the January meeting. And Kim McDonald, J.C. Stone, and Sarah De La Cruz would serve a 1-year term and then be up for reappointment in 2027.
And the rest of the members?
And the rest of the members have a 2-year term that began January of 2026 and will serve until January of 2028.
Correct. We have a motion?
Did you just motion?
We did.
Oh, I got a second.
We got a second. Councilmember Comer, all in favor? 5-0, passes.
perfect. Thank you, guys.
This is a bit new, Rusty and Patty, but in a consent agenda, we have several items that are considered common business for the council. And unless you saw something that really struck a chord with you, we can vote to accept all of these together. So I'm going to do that at this point and see where we go. All agenda items are considered routine by the city council and can be enacted by one motion. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless the council member requests one item to be removed and considered separately. Do we have a motion?
I just had one question. On 23. Are we tabling that one?
Which one?
23.
No.
That's one we already had.
We already have
23
that.
was,
The no parking zone at Walnut Street and Grace?
That's a different one.
that was from last month.
Okay.
Just the approval of
We-
the ordinance.
we didn't.
Then I recall my question.
Okay. Any motion on consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion.
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Bruning. All in favor? 5-0 passes. And you guys will have a packet in the future prior to coming to the meeting, like sometimes 4 weeks in advance, right, Veronica? And you can go through and look at all the items individually and determine if you have a question, and I will. All right, folks, we're going to move to the all-important staff reports. And we're going to start with Jim Holder in Public Works. I'm going to get signed out, it says.
So I don't want to really reopen the discussion, but as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about that parking lot. And I remember one big item that caused us to do the railing. And so when the city obtained that parking lot years ago, one of the property owners, I guess the property owner that owned where the parking lot sits, owned one of the buildings out front. And so he retained a 15-foot easement
Of the back of the
for
building.
ingress, egress from Walnut Street in towards Baked. And it was just for ingress, egress. It didn't mention parking spaces. So when the city paved that, they put parking spaces in there. And now it's not really used for, I think the way it was intended, it was for like a big truck to back down through there, offload and then leave. And so it was, if we observe the easement, we actually would lose about 10 spaces. So that was the point of the railing and letting those folks use those spaces during the day, because it really didn't.
It was a somewhat of a compromise.
Yeah.
Who is the owner of that?
Which Level Whedon years ago. So that's an important piece of the puzzle that y'all need to know about.
Can we touch base with the attorney and ask if we can we cancel an easement that has been granted? Is there a way to?
I think you can rescind an easement.
Just redraw it.
I don't know. I mean, it appears that structures have been built on top of that easement. And so really, I mean, we could survey it and figure out exactly where it's at, but
Which structure do you think's built on the easement?
I think there's two patios, one at Feast and then one on the opposite end.
The fire extinguisher.
For the garage
Yeah.
studio.
I don't know if they encroach on the easement or not, but I'm pretty sure the one at Feast does.
But we could license then the ground that it sits on.
Well, it depends on,
Oh, we'll refer to legal. We'll talk to Stan, see about that, see what we could do. He will know. Hopefully.
Anyway,
Yeah, I forgot about that. I remember you talking about that before. All right, any questions for Jim in your packet? Did you see anything you want to talk about? Hey, what's the writing on Bernard down here? And we've been talking to Sarah, but I didn't know there
that
was.
was the gas company. They're reworking the gas line over there. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, all right.
Yeah, I did too.
We got to the next intersection.
Is the, I haven't got that far in the packet, but is the curbs and pavement all completed down on the Wolf City side over on the Second? And is that project completed? And is there anything remaining on the punch list wise?
The construction's done, the punch list, basically, we lack them coming back to do cleanup. And it's turning into a mess. He hasn't been paying his sub, and so we're going through all of that.
We're in a legal ish situation at the moment.
Copy. Thank you.
Anything else for Public Works? All right. Chief Martin, would like to have a police report.
We've got signs that 8 to 6.
Page 7.
It's in the ordinance. Okay.
8 to 7. Okay. Any questions for Chief Martin? I didn't look at your totals for the month, but I should have.
Status of our fire?
Hopefully next month, the first of June. Yep. Getting pretty quick. Getting close.
Anything else for? Seems like we've been pretty peaceful.
Yeah.
What was the wreck on 67 this afternoon? Do you know?
Yes, vehicle was crossing from, Tractor Supply going to the bank side and didn't see the car. Headed toward the mansion.
Injuries?
Yes, one went to the hospital.
But the state says we don't need a light there.
That's right.
I think you're gonna put one in there, right? That's what, at least that's what we were told at one of our meetings.
Yeah, well.
So that they approved it out of the parks, right?
It's just a
I
matter,
haven't found budgeting for it, I believe is the case, so.
just a matter of speed.
Before, it depends on how many fatalities you have there to get a lot.
All right, thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Who's up here? David, Building and Planning? When's my catfish restaurant opening? That's what I want to know.
Soon as they get the plans in. Got your reports, any questions?
Council, any questions for David?
Send our congratulations on that no-kill shelter designation.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's absolutely wonderful. Even a city of our size, that's an accomplishment. It really is. It is hard to get that percentage up to that level. And I have to commend the whole group for doing that.
Worked very hard at it.
Since we're talking animal shelter for a brief second there, do we ever get lights on their sign?
Lights on the sign,
The
I
animal
don't,
shelter?
yes.
I think it was talk of that.
They're solar lights, aren't they? Are they solar?
Yes, solar lights on the sign.
Thank you.
Anything else for David? Any big plans being submitted? Anything exciting?
Well, we got the Glen Hotel, that's started.
Yeah, parking.
We got the church coming in, big church there, the First Baptist Church. And then, we got the other church on 67, Shepherd's Valley.
Shepherd's Valley, yeah, they got their expansion.
Yep. And then a lot of homes being built. We are up from 12,000 to 15 this year from last year. So doing pretty good.
Before you leave, if you're going to stay, I'd like to just mention something to you before we go to executive session.
Yes, sir. Anything you need.
Anything else? Thank you, David. Appreciate it. Convention and Visitors Bureau, oh, I'm sorry, Explore Glen Rose.
That's right, that's right. Explore Glen Rose report.
Do you have any questions about my report? Well, I would love to highlight some upcoming events that we have in our city. The first thing, you will see that Kinley, fifth grade student at the intermediate school, this is her commercial for the Lemonade Day that will be this Saturday. Let everybody see. So that's exciting news. I hope everyone in this room goes out and supports our fifth grade students. So that's exciting.
Just so you know, there will be a lemonade stand at the Lane Building But I wouldn't mind you supporting if you don't mind.
So if you want to know where these lemonade stands are throughout our city, you'll notice that I put one of these in your stack. So of course, I'm going to talk about the Biloxi Music Festival, but on the back, you'll notice that there's a Lemonade Day little reminder down there, and it's got a QR code. So if you follow that QR code to the website, you'll see where right now we have 24 lemonade stands that are being operated. It's just and it's Lemonade Day nationwide. So this is a nationwide program, and we're super excited. That's put on by the Chamber, sponsored by the Chamber. And so, and it's just been such a great program for these students. They've been studying this curriculum and learning some really great financing and entrepreneurship lessons. And so now it comes to fruition. So I hope everyone.
They put together a business plan.
They put together a business plan. I think tomorrow we're doing a Shark Tank. They have to put all the components together, build it, and have a marketing plan, the whole 9 yards. So it's, in fact, some of them needed financing and went to the bank and got a loan, talked to Sarah De La Cruz there. So it goes on and on and on. I mean, it's just all of the components of business. So it's great. It's a great program, and it's just exciting and fun. Another big event that's this time next week, so next Tuesday, May 19th, and I have a blue reminder there on your page, is City Day. The city of Glen Rose is going to be at the Cleburne Railroaders, so please get your tickets. You can also, I'm probably going to send a reminder email to you guys so that you have a link to buy tickets, but our mayor will be throwing out the first pitch, and you don't want to miss that. We also have a 7th grader from our junior high that's going to be singing the national anthem at the beginning. And then the high school choir will be singing at the 7th inning stretch. And so it's going to be a special night, and I hope that everyone here plans on attending.
Don't forget the highlight of the night, if you remember last year, was Lupita drinking 2 beers. It was really entertaining.
That does sound like
I don't know if she wants that out there.
It's out there now.
It's out there.
Live and recorded.
All right, and so of course our big event that the city is helping to put on this year, the Biloxi Music Festival. We've got 3 days of fun and excitement and joy, so you don't want to miss that. Hard Days Night, of course, and La Freak are going to be on the square Friday night. We're going to have vendors on the square Saturday during the day. All of the festivities will go to the Texas Amphitheater Saturday evening. And then on Sunday, we're having a brunch on the square along with a concert, and it's going to be more bluesy and jazz on the Sunday festivities.
And just a shout out to one of the local restaurants that is allowing us to rename the stage, the city stage?
Calling it the city stage.
And we'll have the jazz and Kevin Vaughn and his jazz and R&B group that evening. It's going to be like the Memorial Day weekend.
It will be. The festivities will be very exciting. And you're all invited.
I don't know if you guys know, but you're required to be there for those events.
Right.
Usually there.
Wow. Thank you, Tracy.
You're welcome.
Veronica, it's time for our city secretary report.
We had a successful move to the Lane Building.
What about the office furniture for the
The
convention?
mayor's office? Oh.
No, the convention center.
I've been talking with Jim. I've had a couple of quotes, so we're just gonna look and see which is the best one and order the furniture, so we can start renting it out.
Any questions, folks?
Are you and Jim gonna, is that something that we would vote on? Is the,
No, it's already been budgeted and
no, not the furniture, the rules and
Yes.
all the guidelines for
Yes.
renting that
We're gonna have to
space.
present that.
Okay. And you two are working on that?
Kind of going over.
Brainstorming that.
Yes. Well, we need to, we're trying to figure out security and, we might have to add an additional, key door. Because the system we use allows us to put hours on the door lock. So I can hand somebody a card and it'll open at this time and then shut and the key won't work anymore. So those are the kinds of things we're trying to figure out what security wise, what's best. It's cameraed in there. And then we just need to lock up the AV system. Right now it's not, but.
Is the furniture like round tables? Are they rectangular? work
Right
tables?
now, I'm looking at round tables. Looks like we're probably gonna be able to get 8 to 10 in there. 10 wouldn't be very comfortable, but at least 8. We designed that building, that outer building and the roll-up door to be able to just wheel the chairs and tables in and out of there. So whoever rents it, whoever's putting the tables and chairs up for if it's us or whoever it is, it's easy to manage. And then I want furniture that's gonna last. And the person that we're working with, who we went through with our office furniture, Martin's Office Supply in Granbury, they've been wonderful to work with, and he's really given me a lot of options on furniture that's going to kind of stand the test of time in there. Whenever we do start renting out.
So the round tables are more like banquet seating rather than like project-based work tables.
And I think that's something we're looking at too, rectangular tables, because we do have those 2 drop-down screens where like smaller TML conventions can come to Glenrose. I've been to some of those that had 75 people, and this would be a great space to host those. And that would also draw people in for a 3-day convention to be able to fill up the hotels and use that space. So that's what we're kind of looking at doing. So we're kind of exploring all the options on the seating in there.
Anything else? All right, turn your hat around, Jim. You're now city administrator. Anything, folks? Steady as she goes. Okay, any council member reports or comments you'd like to make before we go to executive?
Chopping on.
Bad timing on that ice, wasn't it?
Mhm. Yeah, there was. I appreciate your letter from the mayor a couple of weeks ago, and it got me to thinking. You were talking about the scooters on the road, and it got me to thinking that we had kind of kicked around the idea of trying to do a kind of like a safety day or a community policing type thing, and maybe we could try to get that slid in even this year. But I was looking at some options that were kind of out there on the interweb that other cities had done. They had they'd leveraged their local parks department or their state park to come in and kind of talk about safety outdoors. And then Rusty, you had said the hospital doing a safety in the sun type thing. But I think we need to kind of educate the public at large about the risk of driving these scooters unsafely. So I think if we could, try to kind of have something on a Saturday on the square that, or in the park or at Heritage Park that, ran for 3 or 4 hours and kind of walked people through. We could have like a, kind of a community day to outreach to the younger people to prepare for the summertime, and then just a soft sell about those scooters. So that got me to thinking you're based on your article, but just something to consider. Maybe we couldn't pull it off this year. Maybe we could do it next year.
Yeah, Buck and I talked a little bit, Jim and I talked about it, and it was really funny. We were at the office of the Lane Building. I said, we gotta do something. A lady almost got hit at the bridges right at Bob's Eye or whatever their name is. And they went back in and the scooter went by. They're not supposed to have anything on the square, but this is every street in town. But these kids don't have helmets. They're not stopping at stop signs. And I think it's a parenting issue, but so be it. I think a workshop with Buck being there and just talk safety. I don't think one kid knows what your arm signals are on a bicycle. I don't even think they teach it anymore. Maybe we go back to some basics, but yeah, I think it's something we should do. And I really don't want to wait next year. I may try to push something this year. But great idea, George. I think it'd be good. Okay, at this
There is
point,
a-
we're going to close. I'm sorry, you have something?
Sorry, Sheriff, I said something to Buck earlier, and I'm just thinking this might be a good format, and it's basically where Sheriff West and I think Buck will be there also, have the meeting with regarding the school safety in the school. I think that would be a good format to maybe where they meet twice a year to discuss with the public and let them know what they're doing and what is proposed and what they have been doing. And I think that would be a good format for something like that.
Would be.
It's coming up here 26th of the month, so, sorry, that was all I had.
Yeah, I think we could probably put something together, hopefully. All right, we're gonna close the regular council meeting, and in accordance with the provisions of the Texas Open Meetings Law, Subchapter D, Government Code, Vernon's Texas Codes, annotated in accordance with 551.072, deliberations regarding real property, 551.071, consultation with attorneys regarding interlocal agreements, 551.074, personnel matters, event coordinator, section 551.074, personnel matters regarding a city administrator. So we will now close the regular open session meeting at 7:15 PM. We'll be back.
Give you yours. I just brought it.
What's your name? Oh.
Y'all can push those microphones, just push on it.
No, pear is gonna be the
There you
next.
go.
Yeah,
Eric's gonna do it?
Pear's,
that's what Tristan was saying, the pear
he's gonna
was.
be the,
I figured he'd go with him, honestly.
it's on.
This is your cup.
Oh, no, they're staying.
Good,
Okay.
good.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
He's a good defense coach. So we'll see how he does with offense. I got an email and telling him we've been working out. We're ready to run the chains, baby.
Oh.
Gotta keep us in the job.
All right, we're gonna go back into regular session at 8:49 PM. In executive session, we conducted business and in which item number 35 regarding real property, we will continue to work with the developer in that. Jim will have direct contact to work through the issues there. Item 36, we will have an interlocal agreement regarding the fire truck / county agreement looked at by Stan. We done. Item 37, we have an item that requires a motion regarding an event coordinator, the hiring of an event coordinator to be in our Explore Glen Rose department.
I make a motion to publish for event coordinator's position in Explore Glen Rose.
I'll second that motion.
Second by Councilmember Comer. All in favor? 5-0, okay. Item 38, regarding consideration of a city administrator, we are going to resubmit all applications. All assessments and top 3 candidates will be done by June 2nd. Discussion in executive session, June 9th, and arrange for meetings at that point. And does anybody have anything else? Do you have anything? Our regular session for the meeting is adjourned.
Thanks, everybody. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Goodbye, new council members.